It'd be good to hear what you and Youth Realities have been up to since June until pre-lockdown.
Yeah. Oh wow. Okay. Um, it's so hard to think so far back, so
Yeah.
consumed in the present. So June, we started our summer provision last year. We were commissioned by the council to deliver a peer-led research program, which looked at how young people receive and interact with sexual health and healthy relationship support services,
Hmm.
and how young people would like to improve those services and their accessibility to those. So that was a really successful project, and it was great to kind of get our foot in the door with the council as well. Gave us a bit of standing within our local authority, which was really good for us as such a small organisation. As part of that project, we were able to have funding to create a peer-led short film, which was our Too Little Too Late film, which was completely scripted and acted in by the young people on the project. So that was really cool. And then we held a launch event in September, which previewed the film, gave young people a platform to perform. And we also awarded all of those members involved with the project with certificates and awards, which was really cool. Then everything's been a blur since then, really. We've just been really busy. Our dance project had moved venue, so we had a massive jump in attendees because we managed to get into our local youth zone, which had opened in April. That was really cool because we got to meet loads of new young women, engage them all in the programme, and we started delivering fortnightly wellbeing workshops as well alongside the weekly dance. So we were able to offer alternative provisions instead of just the dance, which we were only able to offer in the previous venue because it just didn't have the space for any different activities. So that was really good. Still mobilising our one-to-one support, but it's obviously changed because it's all virtual now, which has had some challenges because a lot of the young people we do support on a one-to-one basis are from very low-income families and don't have access to technology, or some of them have special learning needs and aren't actually able to really communicate via Messenger, or live in very overcrowded households that don't actually have the privacy to have conversations. So we have had some challenges there, but we are just trying to tackle those as best as we can.
And how's the morale of the young people that you work with? How is it? Has it changed from start to now, or is it they're
Yeah,
pretty
definitely.
consistent in that?
They're just sick and tired now, and I completely feel them. They're completely just. It was that, I guess, novelty at first of no more school, and then obviously things became really serious really quickly, and we were starting to see more and more increased death rates on the news and some really negative and really scary social things across social media and the mainstream media. And then that really shifted morale from, okay, this is great, I don't have to go to school anymore, to I'm actually concerned about the safety of my friends and family. And some of the young people we support do live with at-risk or vulnerable parents who are elderly or unwell. So those young people definitely just are obviously terrified for their family, but also now they know there's a massive responsibility for them to keep themselves safe and not go out. Really, young people are getting bored, and it's when they get that bored, the concerns are around, okay, how are you going to now spend your time to try and keep yourself busy or entertained, and what's that going to look like? And we're seeing a lot of reports coming out about the increased CSE online, and young people being at risk of exploitation and sexual abuse online. So we're trying to just have those conversations to make sure the young people are keeping themselves safe online as best they can.
The infrastructure that you talk about that young people used to have, be that either mental health support or even education or even work, is going to be a completely different space, and how to support them. Have you got any ideas of the kind of society that needs to emerge from this pandemic and the lockdown that supports particularly the young people that you work with?
Definitely there needs to be a whole community approach after this. I think everybody needs to pull together a lot more and just make sure that we are really bouncing off each other and supporting each other as an industry, firstly, because there are going to be a lot of organizations like us who are very small and may struggle to come out of this. And I do feel like the wider community does have a responsibility to make sure that we're supported enough to continue the supporting the young people that we do work with and have these great relationships with. On a young person level and the support that we offer, I just think we have to be so sensitive around just making sure they have that space and not pushing any too much, not overwhelming the young people with it's so tempting to just pump loads of activities out because we've not been able to do anything for ages. But I think mostly young people are just going to need someone to talk to. There's been a lot of loss, a lot of grief over this period. Young people, whether directly or indirectly, have seen the death rates, whether or not that was within their own family or their network. They know that so many people have died, and this is a historic tragedy that they may or may not feel the trauma of for a few months, weeks. It's not always immediate. So it is just having that space for them to have those conversations and to feel safe and to talk about what they've been through, and increase mental health pressures as well, and just knowing that it's okay, and that they can slowly build a routine back to whatever normality looks like in the future. I couldn't say now, but slowly build those routines back and then start pumping out provisions. I mean, there's going to be some young people who are going to come out and just want to jump straight back into the dance, for example, and we'll make those options available, but also just being conscious. I think for our young people particularly, that's what they'll need, just that space, the space to do nothing but do something if they want to, if that makes sense.